individual hosts and in no way reflect the opinions of the network as a whole. The statements in the following broadcast are not necessarily the opinions of the Madness Comic Network, its staff, sponsors, or contributors. This show is rated TVMA, as are all of them and all those other letters. Viewer discretion is highly advised. And, just do what Doc says. Read that again. Peace, everybody.
Dragon's flight, a psychic sword cuts through the night, a fiery heart standing ready to fight. Southern nights they rise and soar, God in the south, yeah, they're ready to roar. From the shadows to the shining lights, that they'll protect you day and night. Southern nights. In a world where terrors creep, monsters need their beauty sleep. Dr. Black with steady hand heals the beasts across the land. Vampires and creatures of the night find their savior in Black's light. No more horror guaranteed, thanks to Monster MD. Clearing streams in stables cold and gray, shadows dance while horses softly neigh. He tells the creatures in the barn each night that one day he'll wear armor shining bright. From dawn to dusk he works with honest hand, feeding mares and working on the land. But he has his heart set on the table round to join the knights who bravely serve the crown. With a sword and shield he'll join the fight, prove his worth before it's Christmas night. He'll show them all as he sets out on his quest, a gift to himself, a night before Christmas. With a sword and shield, he'll join the fight, prove his worth before it's Christmas night. He'll show them all as he sets out on his quest, a gift to himself, a night before Christmas. But chivalry demands self-sacrifice, and when folks need help, this boy does not think twice. He meets the need, though it costs him his dream. But maybe things are more than they seem. With a sword and shield, he'll join the fight, prove his worth before it's Christmas night. He'll show them all as he sets out on his quest, a gift to himself, a night before Christmas.
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that. I mean, I remember when you guys, it was black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
Genuinely cutting, but also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
25 seconds to curtain, folks.
Your favorite podcast is Critical Blast.
Flip City Magazine in the house, folks. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at CriticalBlast.com, Chief Envelope Licker for Critical Blast Logistics, Myopic Proofreader for Critical Blast Publishing, and I will help you with your crowdfunder data through Critical Blast Consulting. Christy, over to you. How you doing?
I just wish I could speak as quickly as you.
Did I say something?
No, you said it very quickly and very clearly, so it was very impressive. I just got to say, watching your trailers for the different books that you're publishing the night before Christmas, wholesome,
and unlike crowdfunders, done. It's it's like who's controlling this show? But
hardcover and everything.
Hardcover and softcover. We got them both. And yeah, I just organized the local signing with a local bakery here. They're going to be selling this on December 14th at an event here in Holiday Island. They're going to be bundling this up with cookies and cakes and other Christmas items. So they'll sell it in different bundles, and I'll be there reading and signing. And Yeah, but but it's not about me. It's about Flip City tonight. You let me on your
Yeah.
show to talk about me. You're here to talk about you.
Okay. But I just love Critical Blast so much that I
Oh,
wanted to
and
talk
he's
about you
loving you right
first.
back.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're talking about Flip City. We've got a crowdfunder running right now, and it's been an interesting past year since we've kind of dipped our toes into the crowdfunding thing, and how much anxiety and sweaty palms it brings. But we officially funded in 3 days. So that was a win for us. I'm slowly
Yeah.
learning all the correct steps to follow with the help of Pops Van Zandt giving a lot of advice of what needs to be done to run a successful crowdfunder. So we are now successful, but we'd like to triple it really.
Well, here's the thing. You talk about being successful. You are on not volume 2, not volume 5, not volume 7. You're at volume 23.
Yeah.
So there's provenance stretching out in backwards in time here.
Well, we deliver.
You wouldn't have made it to issue 5 if you didn't deliver, or 3, or
Right.
maybe even 2. So is the world of Christie now nonstop Flip City morning till night, or
It has been like that for 5 years. Well, I had a job for the first couple of years publishing, but that was all my spare time was Flip City. And yes, we live, breathe, sleep, maybe even bleed a little bit Flip City. I mean, it really is about the only thing we do because we're on a quarterly publishing schedule, and it's a grind.
yes, it is. So for people who've never held one in their hands, like me, what are we talking about when we talk about a Flip City magazine? How are we talking about? Like, it's a dozen pages, or it's a newsletter, or is it like
It's a real magazine. It doesn't have the thud factor of a lot of stuff that you will find on a news rack because they're packed with advertisements. We are not packed with advertisements. Pretty much everything you get is content, content, content. So they're a little bit thinner than you'd expect, but we really try to stick between 52 and 68 pages. And the one we're crowdfunding right now is 68 pages. And the other thing is we just got accepted into Diamond. So this will be the first edition that's going in their catalog. And we're feeling a lot of pressure to keep on that 68 pages to keep the, the consistency of the magazine going for those retail locations, in which I hope we get a lot of them.
I just recently saw something I thought I would never see again, a Mad magazine on the shelf in a store. I'm like, so I guess they've come back, but for a long time there was no more Cracked or Mad or National Lampoon that I'm even aware of.
Well, as far as I know, I don't think they've changed what they're doing. Is they are continuing to publish. They're getting new covers, but running old content throughout the magazine. I don't know how they choose their content, but it's all republished stuff. You're not going to get anything new and modern in a Mad magazine. So that was something that we knew what was going on for a while. We knew the torch of satire magazines had been dropped by Mad and Cracked, and we thought it was time, especially with all the insanity in the world right now, that the torch was picked up and we run with it and kind of be that uncensored, kind of in your face, non-apologetic satire, because you can't be satire if you apologize about it later.
No, you cannot. When I was in grade school, I was introduced to, I can see you now. I was introduced to Cracked magazine. So I was like a Cracked kid. I was a DC Comics Cracked magazine. I didn't like reading Marvel. I didn't like reading Mad. I liked reading National Lampoon, but at my friend's house because it was National Lampoon.
Right.
There was Poon read under the lamp at his house. But the thing that between Mad and Cracked was they had mascots, I guess. You had
Right.
Alfred E. Newman, and you had Sylvester P. Smythe.
Mhm.
Is there a face of Flip City?
So I think almost officially, it might be official now that actually Kitty Phillips is the face of Flip City, and she may end up on the next cover. Where the cover that you see right now actually is a placeholder. We may run that one, but Scott is working on a cover that I think features Kitty Phillips, and she's kind of my developed trad wife, silly. What did I call her? Oh, she's a foibly foil.
Foibly foil. Okay.
Yes. So yeah, I think she is the face of Flip City magazine, and that's a little different from the Mad and Cracked because Sylvester and Alfred, they were kind of very similar characters to one
They
another.
didn't say anything either.
That's true. That
And,
is
you know,
true.
unless you count "What Me Worry" as a dialogue balloon, which I don't.
Well, I guess that was the one thing Alfred said, right?
Yeah.
What's up, Pops?
That was his line. What? Me worry.
And Sylvester said nothing. He just had that underbite and pushing them up around.
You know,
I forgot all about that. Hi, Christy.
hi, Pops.
RJ. What's happening?
Hey, RJ, I just want to let you know as well that Cracked was Scott's go-to magazine. He preferred that over Mad. You know,
I don't know why. I don't know why I like DC over Marvel. I just did. It's okay. Weird thing. This was being a kid. Now I grew up in Sparta, where all the books were printed, so I had access to all of them. I didn't say I didn't read the Marvel magazines. They just preferred the DC. I got physically ill reading Marvel comics as a kid, and I want to say it was just because they were so overly inked compared to the DC books. I think because I would get like rashes on the back of my hand just like laying there reading a comic book from Marvel.
really?
I don't. And it was a pure physical response. I would get nauseous reading these things. It's like, ugh.
Right. So you grew up getting ink on your fingers, like literally.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, they were printed in the same town, so if you worked there, you just brought them home like day old donuts at the end of the day.
Right.
So I never bought a comic until I was like a teenager, discovering a comic shop. It's sort of like the old expression in England, bringing coals to Newcastle. Nobody was going to open a comic shop in Sparta, Illinois at the time.
Right.
It's like, why would you try to sell ice to these Eskimos? Come on. Rosales Comics says that Flip City is sort of like reading Mad for the articles. Mad magazine that you read for the articles. So you do articles. It's not just pure comic satirism.
Right. We do. I mean, they are all satirical articles, so it is still satire. But yeah, we write articles. That's the thing. If people are looking for an exact remake of either National Lampoons or Cracked or Mad, you aren't going to get an exact remake of any of those things because Flip City is, of course, its own magazine, but they're all informed and inspired by the National Lampoons and the Mad and everything. That is sometimes a criticism that we get is, oh, I was hoping for more National Lampoons than Mad, or oh, I was hoping for Mad more than National Lampoons. I'm like, but it's Flip City. It's a new thing. You got to love us for who we are.
Exactly. Now, all of those magazines had recurring features in them. Mad had the fold in. Cracked had their shut ups. Do you have anything in Flip City that is like, this is the page where we always do this thing?
We don't have anything like that would differentiate ourselves from that would follow that tradition, but be a different thing than Mad or Cracked. However, we always do have a lead parody, so you'll expect that in every edition. And something that you'll see pop in probably a couple times a year is we do these magazine inside the magazine. So you'll get a mini magazine inside a magazine. And you know what? It might be, might have one in here. For example, in one of our editions, more recent editions, we did, the mini magazine was called, oh goodness, something like, The Modern Immigrant. That's what it was called. And so it was basically a magazine for modern immigrants to the United States of America, teaching them how to behave within the United States of America. And you can only guess what kind of savagery we were telling the immigrants that they could do in the United States.
Of course.
Because
Cats
all
are
bets
friends,
are
not
off.
food.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. So here's the Modern Immigrant magazine inside of Flip City magazine. And let me see. I think it's like 4 or 5 pages. So it's laid out like another magazine. Sorry. You get to see my background behind that. But
Yes, I know. It's kind of cool. Looks like the coupon.
I know. I kind of like it. I like showing the magazine and having all the green drop out. So yeah. I mean, it's showing you what you can do downtown, that you can jump on parked cars, stuff like that. So that's a trope that you'll find probably a couple times a year inside Flip City magazine. And they're a riot. They're pretty funny. I think the first one we did was I can't remember what it's called. It's in that promo that you played. But that's been something that we've been doing over the past couple of years.
We need that promo updated, by the way. It just says we're funding 19 and 20. We're on 20.
I know. In fact, I sent Pops a new promo, because something that people can do if they go to our website at flipcitymag.com is if you subscribe, you are going to get our parodies special edition for free. So I have a promo promoting that.
Very cool. I love getting things as inserts inside of magazines. It's like a magazine inside a magazine, or my style, the 3-page fold out that you then put on the wall. No, not that. But one of the things I do remember getting, which was to 12-year-old RJ, was nothing short of a miracle. Like, they can't do that, but they did. Which was a record. There was a floppy record in Mad Magazine, and it wasn't that it was just a record. It was never the same record twice in a row.
Right.
It was a great, big, beautiful, wonderful, fabulous, super spectacular day. And I can still sing it sometimes if I get myself in the mood, and I'll just pick a verse and go with it. But
it would just be so fantastic to get to that, level of notoriety and customer base where we can afford to do those fun things. And I've been looking at the modern things magazines are doing, either for their advertisers or for themselves, and it is insanity. People, I saw a really fun one where they had it was basically a history magazine, and they had people throughout history, their pictures with a quote, but you could scan a code and put your phone over where their mouth was, and they would talk to you. I'm like, oh, I want to do something like that.
I've seen those kind of pictures too. There's one where if you look at it through the software, you have to know that the picture is viewable through the software. The cover becomes animated.
Ooh.
The software recognizes, oh yeah, that's one of our pictures. But just look at the pictures. It's just a picture. There's nothing like, you're squinting at it, trying to make it out. But hey, if you watch it through the thing, it becomes animated and things are falling and moving. I forget what that was called. I probably still have it on my phone because I did it for somebody and then I never cleaned my phone off. So playing in the satire sandbox, so to speak. I've gotten to do some of my own of that when I used to write for the Destroyer books, Remo Williams. It was always political satire, social satire. And one of the things that got really super hard, and I can only imagine it's even worse now, is how do you satirize, how do you parody a world which is already insane? How do you take it to the next step?
Now, see, this is where I was wishing Scott had decided to come sit next to me because I think he has a better way of explaining it. But to me, it's just you take what's going on in our crazy modern world and then you just amp it up 10 more times. But then there's been plenty of things. So something that I like that the Babylon Bee does, and I wanted to copy, but I've been shot down when I pitched that idea, is they do they have something on their website to say that they predicted this was going to happen because they satirized it. And I'm like, oh man, if I were able to do something similar, I think our list would be at least 50 to 60 things that we satirized that ended up being true. In fact, I think one of my proudest ones, or the ones that sticks out in my memory the most, is we vaccinated Elmo. I think we vaccinated him in issue 3. So this is like 2020. And yeah, so we vaccinate him. Then they vaccinate Big Bird, I think, on Sesame Street. Then Babylon Bee satirizes them vaccinating Big Bird. And I'm like, dude, we did this like 3 years before it actually happened. So it's kind of like fortune telling, you know, if you're just tuned in to how the world works now, that's what you do. You amp it up and hope it actually doesn't come true.
You hope it doesn't come true. That's like the last Destroyer novel I started writing was called Buzzkill. And it was about somebody who was going to say, you know what, screw all these, I'm not going to get a vaccination thing. We're going to put the vaccine in mosquitoes. And then something goes horribly wrong. I'm like, you know what, let's not put that thought out into the world. But yeah, it because it was scary, the number of things that I was putting out there as stupid things that were becoming true. Way back in 1987, I was the college editor newspaper. Let's put those words in a different order. I was the editor of the college newspaper. That's it. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Mm-hmm. And we decided to do an April Fool's issue.
Okay.
And on the front page, we had 3 articles. The third article was that the associate dean of students had been pulled over for drunk driving and was, held for bail. The other 2 articles were, one, that the school had been sold to a private institution. And 2, that the school bookstore was going to start carrying pornography and condoms.
Okay.
The day the paper came out, April 1st, clearly on the front of this thing, the lady who runs the bookstore says, it's like, who told you?
Ooh.
Like, who told us what? It was a serious consideration. Because
really?
The students were all adults. They could make money selling the porno mags and sexual aids. The next week, Bell and Howell bought the college.
What?
So I went to the associate dean of students office. I was like, "Do you need an escort to go home? Do you need,
Yeah, right.
You're next. You realize that, right?" He's like, "I don't want to hear about it. I don't know what you guys did."
Right.
It's scary when you try to think of stupid stuff and then the world says, "Hold my beer."
Right. Yeah. Well, something else. One of the pieces, I think, I think it was published a little over a year ago, maybe even. Time flies when you're having fun publishing, first of all. So yeah, my timeline gets messed up all the time, but kind of in response to, the whole Canadian, suicide yourself, we did a consumer report, suicide machines. So we created suicide machines, wrote up, funny little reviews of them and published that. And so, I mean, that's kind of how it goes. It's like, okay, they want us to be like this. All right, well, we'll be helpful.
That's your maid service. Because that's what it is in Canada. It's maid service. I forget what maid stands for, but that's what it is. It's we made all these jokes when Dr. Kevorkian was a thing. If you remember back then, and now it's just like, oh well, yeah, go ahead and do it. It's like,
but yeah, that was the thing. He was a bad guy. He was a bad guy, right?
Well,
I mean,
He's ahead of his curve. So what kind of things are being satirized in Flip City Magazine number 23? I just talk about the cover items because we can already tell that those are hinted at.
Right. So now are you talking about in volume 23, the things that we're satirizing?
Yeah, the stuff
Or in general?
the stuff we're selling in that little banner
Yeah.
down there.
So our lead parody, this is actually going to be the longest one that we've ever published. It's going to be 12 pages. So we do a send up of the new Joker movie, and I think it's called The Joker, but it's Joaquer. So it's like more like Woker.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a musical. Scott's very good at writing musicals, so we took a few of the songs that they have in the movie and changed the lyrics out, and it kind of highlights what it's like to live in shithole cities and have controlled media and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty funny. We're not big Gaga fans, so she's quite funky looking in this, and her character name's Gnarly Cringe, and she's pretty gnarly.
Yes. I did read the page, and folks, if you want to read the pages, they're right here. You can see these pages on the Fund My Comic page.
That's right. Yeah, we didn't actually put a page of Hwoker up, but I do have the characters in there, and you can read some excerpts of the musical, so you can kind of get a feel for what it is, and you see Gnarly Cringe right there.
Yeah.
The
It's
first
a very,
song,
special style of art, for and it's the same thing that they had to do with Mad and Cracked and all. It's this caricaturish style, but full body caricature.
yeah, that's done by Ben Sullivan. I think he is a fantastic cartoonist. He and Scott just have the best working relationship. I think he's been with us 3 years now, and he is the lead parody artist. He does every single parody. I think we work a little bit differently with our artists than a lot of writers do, because we really don't tell him anything that we're expecting from him, because we just want him to go at it. And I know he returns stuff better than what we could have imagined to have done. And he's really great at also hiding Easter eggs and things that sometimes we don't notice until after we go to print. That's just how much we love and trust Ben to be hilarious.
That's the game, to see what he can slip by you.
I think so. And then this one, okay, so we have a few different original comic stories that run through the magazines. Woke World is one of them, and they've been with us since edition 2 of Flip City. And this one in volume 23, you're going to get the 6th episode of Woke World, but they are all standalone stories. So It's not something where you would have to follow the series to get laughs. And that's also the goal too, is even if we have continuing series, of course, you'll get a little more out of it if you follow them since the beginning, but every story is kind of standalone. So anybody picking up their first edition will be able to, get laughs out of our original comics. So Woke World's going to the fair, but there's definitely not cotton candy or corn dogs at this one.
And I like that the kid is Norm. He's just a normal kid, despite it all.
Well, Mam and Dodd call him Norma all the time. They're trying to convince him that his name is no longer Norm, but he just won't have it. And he rebelled by going to church.
Yeah, well, that's the cycle, though, isn't it? That was the joke in Family Ties. Was that the two liberal parents had Alex P. Keaton for Nixon loving, Reagan loving conservative son.
That's right. We all loved Family Ties, didn't we? And then Joey B. Tunes, a rather popular YouTuber, is going to have a page in Flip City in every edition. So that's pretty cool.
Feminism for dummies.
Yeah, he does a lot of commentary on what he calls idiocracy. I mean, we all know the movie Idiocracy, but
Okay, I know the movie. I
mhm.
can't find it on any of my streaming services, so I still have not seen the movie.
Really, you haven't found it on any streaming
Hey,
service? I mean, it's got to
I
be on
haven't.
Amazon.
I haven't watched Citizen Kane either. So
I haven't watched Citizen Kane either.
I had a friend that made me forced me to sit down and watch Casablanca. So it's like now I can say I've seen Casablanca.
Do you know this? Do you know the story about the Crocs in Idiocracy?
No.
Okay, you know the shoes, the Crocs, right?
Right.
Those were found by the costume department. I don't know, somewhere before they became a thing that people were wearing. And they said, oh, let's just buy these. And this is what everybody's wearing. They're stupid. This will never become a popular thing. And then shortly after the movie, Crocs started becoming popular. I don't know if you own any.
I do not. I've heard they're comfy.
I have a pair, but only because I take trips to the lake, and they're good for the lake, and nobody cares what you look like at a lake.
True, because you're gonna walk in the dirt and the sand and the rocks and the water. I've been told by my doctor says get your pair of Crocs and wear them around the house. I'm like, why? I'd be embarrassed to wear them alone, let alone to have somebody see me in them.
Hey, RJ, I don't know if you saw that Mike Walters popped in. Mike, I'm a brand new subscriber to your channel. I'm gonna try to pop in and see you guys do your live read later.
Yes, he is. He's reminding me that that I've got 20 minutes to get to him right after the show here. And by the way, this has been every Friday. We do this part here. Monday through Thursday is always the niche news, but starting next month, the comic reading is going to move to Sunday night. And I will be there for the first Sunday night reading as well. And we are going to be doing, we have made our way up to Batman #1. So we'll be doing the first Joker, first Catwoman. It'll be a night of firsts when we do that live reading. And I've got my Batman voice ready to go. So
that's pretty good.
I don't know if I'm going to be doing the Joker or not.
How many people are usually hanging out on that stream?
Let us know you're there.
Okay.
Say something, please.
Okay. I'm the queen of lurking, but I'll make a special effort to type something like hello.
So you have activities here too. You got a world's most based crossword.
That's right. And that is a recurring thing. There is a based crossword in every single edition. And I'm always very impressed. Scott creates everything in the crossword. But if you look, that's not a lot of black space.
No, it's not.
That is hours of entertainment in itself. If you are a crossword fan and you are tuned into the way our world is working right now, you will definitely have a good time with that puzzle.
And it looks like you also have some ads that might look real.
Yeah, that's exactly what the subtitle under that says. You take a look and you go, wait, is that real?
Yeah.
And then you look closer, and that's been a fun compliment that we've gotten a few times. Is I skipped it the first time I went through, and I went back and actually read the ad and realized it was a fake ad. That's something too that I don't know how it's going to work, because we are taking advertising in the magazine now. In fact, with this campaign, we have a tier for indie advertising. We're discounting our rate for indie publishers. And I'm interested to see how it goes. Like, I personally think that it would be, people might be more likely to actually read your ad, because they're going to be curious to know if it's a real or fake ad.
Yes.
And then
I should have to say advertisement, not an advertisement.
I know. I'm so split on that. If that's what we're going to do, actually tell people, okay, real advertisement. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
So what is the level of adultness in
So
Flipsity magazine?
this actually, I find it fascinating. So I have some subscribers that stopped subscribing because they had grandkids that would come over or things like that. There is an We really don't curse much in the magazine unless it's in an interview with a real person. Then there may be some cursing. Very rare, however, that you will find any kind of naughty words. And maybe once a year, you might get a bare booby, but it's a cartoon.
Purely sexual.
But then on the other hand, I've had people tell me I love leaving my Flip Cities out and I let my 9, 10, 11-year-olds look at them because they want to steal them, like how I remember stealing my grandfather's Mads. And it's just a fun thing. So, yeah, I mean, it's not anything that I would go out there as the owner of the magazine saying, yes, it's good for children. It is an adult magazine. I mean, that is what the humor is for. But it really is up to the parent or grandparent whether you want to allow, kids under 15. I'd say it's suitable for anybody 15 and up, really.
And parents, any of you who leave your Flip Cities out and you're waiting for your kids, if your kids are stealing your Flip City, just
They all deserve to die.
I think one of my other favorite ones was a customer contacted me because they didn't get an issue. And we always, if things get lost in the mail, we always replace them. So I sent them a replacement. And then a week later, she emailed me again and said the neighbor kid actually stole it out of their mailboxes. Yes, because he liked the cover. And I said, well, if you're a generous neighbor, just subscribe for him.
Yeah, there you go. Just get him a gift subscription.
That's right.
But so we talked about, the magazines were stuffed with ads, that yours are not, but you're going to start selling ads. One of the things you can't not drop and litter and snow all over the grocery store when you pick up a magazine is the little subscription cards that are stuffed on every third page. Are you including that, or do you actually have to snip the coupon out of something somewhere to?
It's funny that you ask that because we currently have the thing that you can snip out, forever marring your precious Flip City.
Yes.
But what we do with that is we put another advertisement on the back. So if you did want to cut it out, you can mail in for a subscription. But now that we are going into retail, we are going to do those blow-ins. So, yeah, it'll be volume 23 will be the first time that there is a blow-in inside of Flip City. And I got to say blow-in because I just found out what they were called a couple of years ago.
First time I've heard them called that. I just called them postcards. But
yeah.
So I guess they blow them in.
I think that's exactly what it is. So it lands on any random page, I learn
something new every day. So yes, there is the link, by the way, folks. If you've heard us talk about Mike's show, I will be over there at the top of the hour. So we're going to start wrapping things up here, so I have time to breathe and get my voice in order before we go over there and read the comics. What else we got going on here with Flip City Magazine? You got all your contributors listed here.
Not all. Those are our regular contributors that are probably in every single edition. And just real quick, because you had brought up the caricaturing, a lot of these people have been cartoonists and caricature artists, and all of them have a thread of a story that weaves between all of them. Is at some point they have worked as a caricature artist at a place, an event, or like Six Flags, and every one of them had stories of angering people. And one of them almost got the shit beat out of him because he did, because that's a fine line to walk, is to do a caricature of somebody. Yeah. Anyway, but it is funny that they all have that same story of really offending somebody.
Yeah, well, you're going to. It's art. If you're
That's right.
buying a caricature at a place, you know what you're getting into. So let's take a real quick look at the tiers here. This is $45. That's not for the issue, folks. You're getting 4 issues to catch yourself up here.
That's right.
That's not bad. It's $12 for an issue. If you're thinking $12 for a magazine, then you haven't looked at the checkout counter at Walmart in a while, because I have. I saw ones like, oh look, they've done a time life on Superman in a magazine format. I'd like to pick up this $35 magazine. No, thank you very much. I'm putting that right back down.
Yeah, I was shocked when I did some market research to see what people were charging for magazines off the newsstand, and it's insanity. I'm like, people are buying this?
I'm the same way with books. I mean, like, we'll get a book finished and start pricing it, what the printing cost is and what the retail has to be. I'm like, oh my God, this thing ends up being something that I would never buy. But you know what? The books in the store are selling for that or more. So I'm like, I just have to realize that, yeah, people are paying that. Make them.
We want more. We want as many people laughing as possible. So that is the absolute lowest price that we could do without, and be able to continue publishing. So that's what it is.
Now,
and
if you're
68
cheap,
pages.
Yeah, if you're a cheap bastard, just spend $6 on the digital.
That's right. Or if you're international and don't want to pay that crazy shipping fee. And that's the thing also, because we do have a store and a subscriber base and everything, is I designed our tiers to be a lot of stuff that you can't get on our store. So that very first pack, the featured one, which I would love everybody to get, especially if you don't know Flip City and have other copies, that's something you can't get on our store. I don't sell a 4-pack of our 4 most recent editions. So go get that one.
Go get that one. Especially if you've got nothing. You'll have four comic magazines to read here.
Right.
Free shipping in the USA. That's a great deal. Is that the same one up here? Yes. It's free shipping in the US.
Yes. So
if you're having trouble internationally, talk to me later. If you're a retailer, first of all, you're going to start getting these through Diamond real soon.
Yes.
If you haven't done it yet, you can get it right here, $70 for 10 copies. That's $7 a copy. You're going to double the retail cost on that. Look how much money you're going to make back.
Yeah. Well, and also for people that have actually a group of friends. You can buy it for Christmas.
You're not checking their actual retailer status then.
No. Wink. I'd be happy to sell 10 magazines for $70. That would make me so happy. That one right there is another one that's not available on our store. That is 22 digital editions for $60. And it comes out to 2272727. I thought that was kind of cool.
That is cool.
Each.
So that's everything except the current issue.
That's right. If you want the current one, you can also back at the digital, the digital rate.
$60, get it all right now. Then you got indie advertising. Ooh.
Yes. So that's that price tier there is for a business card size. We've already sold 2 of those placements with a promise of selling a full page ad here sometime in the future. And so I discounted about 25% off of our regular rate. Because even though we don't have advertising currently in the magazine, I have been trying to sell it. So I'm super excited to at least have 2 so far in this volume 23.
And there is the full page ad. This is inside the book, right?
Inside the book. And the graphic on there, I had recently realized that you can feed a spreadsheet into a map program for it to place pens across the map. And I decided to do that with our subscriber base, and was really pleasantly surprised how many people are subscribed to Flip City Magazine for being an independent publication. So that is basically an image of the map of what our subscriber base looks like. If you had control of the map, you could scroll in, and a good amount of people have another Flip City reader that live within 5 miles of them.
That's very cool. You've taken over half the continent here. You're creeping in from the other side.
That's yeah. That was something else that kind of surprised me because I had no idea is how saturated we are, east of the Rockies. I need to do better west of the Rockies.
Well, we got no sense of humor.
Is that what it is?
Here's flyover country. There's a nice S shape here in the middle, and a Y. So it's like Cy has signed his name or something. I don't know why it is. But when I say it's an interior page, it's like not the inside cover or the inside back cover or the back cover. It's one of the actual pages in the book, right?
Yes, absolutely. If we were to sell, we actually kind of reserve the inside cover for selling our own stuff. So if we were to give up that space, it would be a little more, because that's like prime real estate is inside back cover. Or inside
Anybody who's
cover.
advertised in here, reach out to me. Let me know what you got, what your ROI was, and help me figure it out. Oh, there's a second page here.
No, that's the last one.
Okay, I forgot that FMC does that they horizontally scroll here.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're funded. You're at 108%. And if I were to reload this from the 89 timpani roll, please.
Oh,
we did not lose you any subscribers.
Thank you so much. 17 really is my favorite number. It is, if I play roulette, that is the number I play. I hope we're not stuck at 17 through the end of the campaign. We only launched it for 30 days. I've called it our down and dirty 30. See what we can get done in 30 days. And we funded in 3, but it's been at that for 3 days. So I'm looking for another backer.
17 is sexy. The Stray Cats told me this.
Oh.
Sexy in 17? My Little Rock, it's amazing how many popular rock songs will not mention anybody 18 or over. It's just I'm like, what are you saying here, guys? All right. That's a weird note to go out on, but
yeah,
it's par for the course when you're dealing with the humor and the parody and the satire that is Flip City Magazine. So, Christy, thank you so much for coming on the show and talking with me about this. I feel edumacated because I knew you guys existed. I just didn't know everything that you guys were.
Yeah. Oh, also anybody, just real quick, anybody that wanted to check us out before actually backing, we have a free magazine that you can flip through directly on our website. And if you love it, I'd say just give us your email to get the full edition. I think our free sampler is like 72 pages of Flip City. I love your cat. My fat one has not come.
She doesn't like me picking her up. She wants to just sit on my lap. Schrodinger, be nice. Yes, her name is Schrodinger, and her sister's name is Heisenberg.
Cute.
All right, and also, folks, check out the Flip City YouTube channel where Christy does what I do, only the pictures in the other side. And she's got all kinds of games set up, and they do voiceover readings of animated cartoons.
That's right. This Thursday, Halloween lands on my show night. So we're actually having a Halloween party this Thursday. So guests will be coming on and talking about real life spooky stories. And we'll do a few Halloween live reads because Flip City being what it is, Halloween is a big thing for us because there's so many horrors in the world that we have a lot of Halloween themed content. So we'll be doing some live reads there. And RJ, you're invited to the Halloween party. I don't know if I sent you an invitation yet, but I will make sure to DM you one.
I'm sure it's in the mail. All right, everybody in the chat, thank you guys for being here tonight. We don't have a show without you. We're just a podcast falling in the woods otherwise. So we're glad you're here. And of course, while you were here, as always, we just hope you had a blast. Good night, everybody.